Hey everyone, welcome back to I Know a Guy. I'm Anthony, and this is the podcast where connections thrive. Each episode, we spotlight inspiring entrepreneurs, professionals, and individuals doing amazing things. Together, we'll grow your circle, spark collaborations, and discover new opportunities. Today, we're meeting Coach Brian Parana. He is a health and lifestyle coach who helps high-performing entrepreneurs and professionals take back control of their energy, body, and performance. With 2 decades of experience in fitness and coaching, Brian empowers busy men to build sustainable routines that create results at work and at home without sacrificing their health or family. How you doing today, Brian?
I am doing fantastic, Anthony. Thanks for that intro.
Yeah, no, happy to have you on. You're doing awesome things. There's a lot of people out there that either one, they haven't been focused on their health and they should be, or two, are realizing they haven't been focused on their health and they should be. So
Yes, very
helping a
much
lot
so.
of people. So I was excited to have you on. But to start off, there's a lot of people that need to know you. But starting off, where are you located? Where are you calling in from?
Yeah, Akron, Ohio. I always say, joke around, home of LeBron James, a Goodyear tire company.
Have you been there for a while, or are you newer to the area?
I've born and raised, and we've called it home base, but my wife just loves to travel. So we've gone all over the world, actually all 50 states, been to Iowa. And then we actually went on the Iowa See Missouri trip is what we called it. And so we did that, and we've been to a couple countries as well. So we call this home base, but we leave as often as we can.
Okay, well, let's say somebody's coming your way to visit. Where do you go? What do you do for dinner? And what are you guys doing?
Well, in our neck of the woods, if you want to do something fun, we could do the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Certainly, we have the Cavs. There's the Cleveland Browns. Let's forget about them. But there's so much to do in the Northeast Ohio region as far as food. Of course, they're going to have all the typical things that are anywhere. But one of my favorite we have is Melt. It's a grilled cheese monster sandwich thing. So occasionally we'll go up and do one of those. And then we have some La Loma's tacos. Ooh, these are premium street tacos that are just dynamite over in the Talmadge area. Just love those.
I got you. Well, from the sounds of it, if you visit Ohio, you will need a fitness coach. But no,
You
So-
may need one, right?
but also, well,
We do have some beautiful, beautiful park systems. Cuyahoga Valley National Park is here, thousands of miles around to be able to bike and hike and be active too. So that's a counter to that.
So it's not all melts. It's yeah, I got you. Okay, awesome. Well, what can you tell us about what you're doing?
Yeah, what I'm doing is being in the industry for so long. It's just I'm 42 myself, and I've just felt the stack of responsibility show up over time. All of a sudden, I feel like I'm the most responsible I've had to be in my whole career. I understand what that midlife crisis event is like, and especially if you pair it up with poor health, maybe a career path that isn't quite what you were hoping it would be, or a financial situation, or you have a stack of kids like I do. I have 4 kids. There's just a lot going on. And that's why people end up in those midlife crisis type events or something. Let's not buy a new car. Let's get a new body. Let's get back to the body that especially men are attached to, or in their head they are. We don't want to live in high school. We want to live in the body that we're at now and be really excited about the way we look, the way we feel. And the more energized and energetic you are, the more impact you can have, whether it's in your family, your career path, or most importantly with yourself, so that those thoughts in your head are clear and they are focused on what's important to you and not just doing whatever or just living in silence and suffering in silence in a sense. So that's where I'm intersecting with getting men to focus on themselves, their health, to be better for those people that depend on them.
Okay, awesome. Well, how'd you get started in this? Is this something you've always wanted to do, or was it something you kind of naturally fell into?
We go back to the Rocky training montages, right? Rocky, the Eye of the Tiger and all. And that's what I just love training. I ran cross country, I ran marathons, I got into triathlons, I own CrossFit gyms, I've been in the gym, I've owned gyms. This world has been all I've known. And I've just coached people for decades now, thousands and thousands of conversations, and everyone seems to be running the same blueprint in a sense. They're all in quotations busy, all capital letters, right? Multiple explanations depending on who you talk to. I'm busy. I know what to do. I'm not doing it, or I've tried all the things and nothing seems to be working. And what I want to do is create more of, and one more thing is what we're in the information overload, overwhelm phase of our lives, right? There's so much access to information that it leaves such confusion. And I want to clear that up. I don't want to be an information guy. I want to be an experiential guy. And that's what I've spent the last 10, 20 years is building experiences around taking care of yourself. I want to link that positive connection of this is a good thing that I'm doing. I feel great about it. And I have the outcomes that I'm looking for. Better energy, better health. I look better. I feel better. And people notice my shift in how I look and feel. And that's what brings me to the table now and really drives my underlying motivation where it's at.
Okay, awesome. Well, what is it that you love most about what you do? You've been doing it for decades, so there's clearly a lot that you love about it. But if you had to pick one,
I'm going to say the stories of how people have changed their lives when they focus on themselves first, right? Let's go to the classic airplane mask drops from the ceiling, right? And it's dangling there. Who do you put the oxygen mask on first? Well, we have been trained and we're always giving and going that we put it on someone else first, like kids or spouse or our loved ones or the people around you, but you don't put it on yourself. And there's this self-sacrifice that happens. And as soon as we can actually get a good breath of air, then you can start to think and then you can start to feel and to produce the outcomes that you want in your life. So it starts with energy, and the stories are what keeps me coming back of transforming someone who says, hey, I've had enough. I don't want to feel this way about the way I look or how I feel. And they start doing something about it. Not the diet thing or something. I don't do diets. We do nutrition. We train. We do real lifestyle shifts that create positive momentum in someone to create a different lifestyle to where they love the way they look, they feel, and it's just a byproduct of what their habits and behaviors are that we've been able to develop and get them out of old patterns and routines.
when you're looking at like your average client or the people that you best serve, what are the pain points that somebody might be going through that if they're dealing with X, Y, or Z, you're the person they should be talking to?
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're certainly talking about being overweight. We're certainly talking about not identifying with the person you see in the mirror. We are seeing a checking out of real life and a distraction. They're constantly seeking distraction in a sense. This world today is so full of attention seeking from marketers and if you're an influencer, you got to get more eyeballs. So everyone's focusing on the hook. They're focusing on how to keep people coming back to this thing. And we just see, say, drift and distraction overwhelm people. We got to shake them out of that to be able to grasp what actual taking care of themselves looks like. And through actual science-backed information is the best way to implement those into their everyday.
Okay. What about power partners? What are there other industries or professionals out there that you can kind of synergize with where you can both help somebody just in different areas and you can kind of collaborate with?
Yeah. Well, if when I'm looking to work with, say, partner with someone, certainly the topic of interest is going to be, say, men's focus, men's empowerment groups, men leadership groups. There's grief groups. There are all sorts of different men's focused things because men's health is important. We're talking about it more than we have ever in the past. If we go back to the 90s, dads or grandfathers did not ask for directions, right? That was definitely not what you did. You just figured it out. But if you're smart and if you're say focus on say business, you do ask for directions. You look for the best people. You look to create that synergy and that movement forward to empower yourself to basically skip or fast track your journey in a sense to doing the right things quickly. So I'm just looking to partner with those individuals that are driven, that are in a leadership position of some sort and are looking to improve their health.
And then as a business owner yourself and working with them, what advice would you give to a new or aspiring entrepreneur?
Ooh, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. The baby being your health, the bathwater being the business. Right. And a lot of time I got caught up in this myself. My first business, I was waking up at 4 a.m., to get to the gym by 5, to teach classes all morning, to go home and try to unplug for 2-3 hours, to come back to the gym and work till 9, and then go to bed at midnight. That was about a 2-year routine that I did most days. Certainly we ended up getting 300 members in our gym through creating community and connection and positive experience and change in their life. But it was costing me a lot of burnout. I remember just experiencing even, say, chest pain when my phone was going off so much. It was just binging and humming and dinging. This was back in 2010, 2011. And it was just so overwhelming. And I was crashing and burning in a sense. And that's what we need to do as new entrepreneurs, is make sure that there is some time and priority set aside for health, for self-improvement in those areas, to take time to take care of yourself, whether it is cooking a meal or delegating that somehow. Or you can't delegate exercise and activity. You do need to do that because that is going to be a stress relief in and of itself. It's very important.
Okay. What would you say is the biggest mistake busy professionals make when trying to get in shape?
They go too hard. They try and do all the squats I hadn't been doing in the last 1 or 2 months or something all right now. Hey, you haven't ran in a year or 5. Let's maybe not run 5K straight out the go as fast as you can, right? That ends up being the culprit because they're so driven and they have to get to that finish line as fast as they can. And a simple question I usually share with people is, can I work out tomorrow? That helps you frame a reference of where you're at right now in this moment to not overdo it, so you can do more tomorrow. Because just like building a business, you're doing it one day at a time, one decision at a time, incrementally growing the bandwidth of the company to be able to facilitate the outcomes and the mission of what it is that the company's there for. Same thing with your health. We just can't overdo it. And we can take our, say, any type of personality, type A or B or whatnot, but we can stay focused on the outcome of what it is. And then we just stay focused on the daily inputs that we need, doing better. I like this, just doing better than you did the week beforehand. And it might feel slow sometimes, but it actually, in the incremental amount of time in your life, it is super fast. If someone loses 30 pounds in 3 months, that is a blip in their life across the whole time that they're going to be alive on this earth. And it's worth taking the focus, the energy, the patience, because we are human and we mess up all the time. I do too. But we need to be patient and focus on that consistency of showing up every day.
Okay. How can entrepreneurs boost energy and focus without relying on caffeine?
Well, proper nutrition, number one, and first and foremost. So, and then sleep too. Those are the two top ones. Certainly, you've heard it. The 6 to 8 hours of sleep is super important. That's worthwhile to do. Then from there, we need to make sure that we're fueling our body strategically throughout the day. Oftentimes, business-minded entrepreneurs and all are going to be so business focused that they forget to eat. They schedule over their lunch with meetings, or they do client meals, and then they end up eating 2 meals worth of food at that one time. That causes fatigue. That causes lack of energy. It causes a food roller coaster later in the day where they just can't stop the hunger or the feeding when they get home at night. And there's no stimulus that has been just driving their dopamine all day. And now they're out of dopamine gas tank, so to speak. And now they're just relying on food to fill in with the gap, or they skip too many meals and they're just hungry at night and going to eat not the best choices. So those are going to be the 2 fastest, easiest way. We want to have balanced meals, protein, vegetables, some fruit, starchy carbs. We want to have, guys are having, say, average 500-600 calories in a meal. Women about 300, 400, 500 calories, depending on, certainly upon what your overall goals are. But if say, your guy had a 500-calorie breakfast, 500-calorie lunch, that's 1,000 calories a day. They still have a reasonably good-sized dinner ahead of them. And those 1,000 calories, get them through 3 o'clock, is going to be really important to keep their brain functioning. The brain works off glucose. We need to feed it carbohydrates and energy, and not just grind and then hope that you make it through the workday otherwise.
Okay. What's one simple habit that high performers can start today for better health?
We got to focus on MITs, most important tasks, not around the business, but around your body. What needs done, and most importantly, we want to do first in the day. Okay. That is incredibly important. And if your time is limited, then you need to carve it out. You need to write it down on paper and hold it just like any other appointment or meeting in your day and not waver from it. You don't have to necessarily work out every day. I think you should move every day. That's really important to make sure you do that. I say 10,000 steps, but we need to make sure that there is that time, there's that priority on that focus of self-care from exercise or nutrition and all.
Okay. And then this is always my favorite question because it doesn't matter what you do. There's other people out there doing something identical or close enough to not matter. But why you? What sets you apart from
Why
everybody else
me?
out there?
That's a great question. Why does anyone, why this podcast, right? And so there's unique features, qualities, benefits to each and every individual person. For me, I am 42. I married my high school sweetheart. I've known this woman for 3 decades. I have 4 kids, 15 through 10, 3 boys and a girl. Like I was supporting my oldest son today. He decided to run a half marathon. Literally he said, I'm going to do it on Tuesday. And I was a support crew because I was on phone calls and working with clients and I couldn't, but I could drive to one spot to another and give him water because it was about 90 or so when he was doing it. But the kid did it at just under 16 years old because he was driven to do it. Now, what does all that have to do? Is I'm living a busy life. I'm living a very fast paced life. I've traveled the world. All these are experiences on top of the 23 years that I've been doing this singular focused effort of helping people create small behavior changes over time to influence their health in a positive way. So we blend that. We have some moderation, we have balance, we have flexibility built into it through just sheer conversation, through sheer experience of life, and through just my own sense of responsibility to show up as not only a leader in my industry, but a leader for the people I work with and lead from within, right? I have to be the person that shows those people, my clients, how to do it and how to do it as best they can and course correct when we say fall off and lose track. That's probably going to be the best way. Is just the lifestyle. I'm not 20 selling beach abs. I've got 4 kids. I've been self-employed 15 years. I've talked to C-suite, many zeros behind their names, to middle school kids that are suffering with not knowing how to eat and they're overweight already, or cancer victims, or Olympian. I worked with an Olympian at Tokyo and Paris, or helped create Betsy into a CrossFit champion at the age of 60. I've had a lot of experience that of wealth of knowledge, plus all the expertise behind it. There you go.
All right. Well, I know with health and fitness, we could probably spend all the hours talking about anything because it's such a big area and there's so much to it.
Very so much.
But in general, is there anything that I missed or that I failed to ask that you wanted to add?
Yeah, definitely. What is the ROI on you actually taking care of your own health? A lot of people just, at face value, I look better, I feel better in my clothes or my energy, right? Those are really positive things to be at a healthy body weight. But let's think about some of the other benefits of it. You are less likely, there's always a risk, right? I could die tomorrow, even no matter how much I take care of myself. There's always a risk for a heart attack or type 2 diabetes. You retiring with all the zeros in your bank account only to have to spend it on healthcare because your body is just crippled in a sense and it can't take care of itself anymore. And now you're spending it all on assisted living. And the ROI on taking care of yourself right now leads to better confidence, better energy, better ability to produce connection in your world with those closest to you, your partner, your spouse, your kids, and even do better business as well. that's super important if that's what you do, and even what I do or what you do, right? You need to have energy to produce podcasts and interview people, or if you're over there falling asleep, no one's going to listen to your podcast, right? So you had, and that's the ROI. All of a sudden I had a thriving podcast, and now because I have poor health, I can't stay focused on interviewing someone and giving them that quality time, and then no one's listening anymore because they can hear it through the way you're interviewing people or and all, right? So that directly would say impact you, Anthony, or me if I'm not living my best and people don't see that congruency in my lifestyle to then encourage them that they can do it too.
For those that want to have that conversation, that want to know a little bit more, what's the best way to get a hold of you? How can they find you?
Yeah, certainly socials at Coach Brian Parana is just the basic one that I hang my hat on, but my website, thecalltorise.com. And then that has my 100-day men's transformation fat loss experience. I want it to be an experience, not just, hey, here's your diet and your exercise. I want small groups of men to come together, like-minded individuals to grow and connect together. Some of my 4 best friends are founded in fitness with me. And through us exercising and working out together, we create so much of a deeper bond, whether it's with our family connection or talking about business. 3 of those gentlemen own businesses. And because of spending time together, exercising and sweating and lifting and running and all, we can have real, actual deep conversations to get to know each other a lot better. And it actually fosters a relationship in a good way and not just, hey, it's an acquaintance. Like, I don't want acquaintances in my life anymore. I want connections that matter and that are important. So that's what the Call to Rise is. So I have, we'll give it one more, the freebie. If you're interested, I have a 3-day fat loss protocol. It's called the Rise 72. It's going to give you a step-by-step guide on nutrition, on fitness, exercises, some mindset, and some positivity, all wrapped up in one to really reset your body, your mind, to focus on you, yourself, to take care of yourself. And so that 3-day protocol is easy to follow, simple to implement, and can fit into even a busy family so that you feel better, not only in the first 3 days, but to start to build momentum off of.
Perfect. I'm going to put all that in the show notes so it's super easy to find.
Yeah.
If anybody like to get a hold of Coach Brian, do it. You need to take your health serious. It's with you every day, no matter what you're doing. If you're self-employed, your health is going to impact you. If you're W-2, your health is going to impact you. Take it serious. It's one of the biggest things that you're going to be able to do to improve everything else. It's all connected. So have that conversation. You'll be better off for having it. Other than that, if anybody like to get a hold of me, you can find me at my website at ikag.me. You can find more episodes, subscribe to our newsletter, and connect with our growing community of awesome people like Coach Brian. If you were somebody you know would like to be interviewed, you can also apply on the website. But thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate all you're doing. You're helping a lot of people, and
Thank you.
More people,
yes.
They need to focus on their
Unfortunately, health. Obesity and overweight and all that is significantly on the rise, and it's not getting better. So we do need it, not only for our present, but our future as well.
Absolutely. So yeah, hope you all take it to heart. Let's go have an awesome day and grow our circles. All right.
Thank you.